Hello, how you doing today? Today is January 19th. It is my son Michael's birthday. So happy birthday, Michael. This isn't a birthday video for him. I just wanted to say happy birthday to him. So I am going to show you something extremely personal in my life. About as personal as you can get, really. But there will be limits. So anyway, my sister passed away in 2003. And I still can't deal with that. I usually can deal with it as long as I don't talk about it, so let's just get away from that. Anyway, I am trying, and I have been trying for 15 years to get past that. I was going to go more into depth, but I can't do that. So anyway, I have decided at this point, I have tried time, medication, anything you can think of. I won't even go into what I attempted to stop it. But anyway, I am letting this go. I am letting this go. And part of letting it go is a ritual that I came up with, a spell that I came up with that's going to be a physical representation of the affirmation that I am letting this go. Anyway, so I am pagan, of course. I'm assuming most everybody that watches my channel knows that by now. But and I have been told I'm a perfectionist by several people, not just in the pagan community, but my martial art community as well. So that's kind of fun. Anyway, I came up with what I'm going to do, and of course I make horrendous amounts of notes, and I try to make everything perfect as I can, and then I typed it up and printed it out, and I've got it here. So this is a nice little basis for me to work my ritual. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I am going to show you some of the aspects, the material aspects of what I'm going to do. And what I'm really going to do on this video is I am going to make a poppet that is going to help me, release this. And I've got everything, well, I got most everything I think I need to create that poppet. And I'm actually going to create that poppet on video, and I'm going to share that. The ritual and everything else, that I'm not going to share that. But anyway, I do want to share making the poppet, or poppet-like item. So let's get started with that. Alrighty, so here's the materials for the most part that I'm going to be using. The candles are going to create my corners, my watchtowers. The red candles I made these myself. These are going to be for the fact that she passed from leukemia, and red is that symbol. Now, I am here by myself, of course, so I may have to move things around a little bit to kind of... Anyway, 3 stones I'm going to be using. Howlite, onyx, and smoky quartz. So, real quick here, just to kind of give you, alright, the howlite I will be using for stress relief, anxiety, calming, and the elimination of selfishness. The smoky quartz is to ease depression, overcome negative emotion and unhappiness, and the onyx is for banishing and absorbing negative energies. So that's the purpose for these 3 stones here. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to create my poppet, and I'm going to use this as my design. It's a cookie cutter, so I thought this would be a good idea to make the shape. But what I'm going to make the poppet out of, and some of you may not abide by my decision or agree with my reasonings behind this, but I tell you without doubt, for me, this is the right choice. I am going to make a mud poppet, and I am going to use my sister's grave dirt. And yes, it's okay. So I use, the only time I ever use grave dirt at this point is when I'm dealing with my sister. All of my grave dirt comes directly from her grave, and she's cool with that. Her and I still have, I hope, a wonderful relationship. So anyway, all of the herbs and everything that's going into that mud poppet is already mixed and in here. And what I will do is I will make the mud poppet using her graveyard dirt, shaping it into the shape of the person, and then rolling and mixing all of my herbs and items along with the stones into the poppet, and that's how that will go. So the herbs that I'm going to use. Now, one that I do not have here yet, and I do not have in my mixture, is peppermint. I do not have the peppermint yet. Now, let me turn to my page so that I can get this correct. This is why I take notes, so that I don't have to have this stuff ingrained in my memory. That's why we invented writing. So the peppermint is for purification and healing. So I have the black pepper, and the black pepper is a protection. I have basil, and the basil is exorcism. And in a lot of ways, that's what I'm doing. I'm exorcising my negativity and my pain and anguish and all of that fun stuff. Then we have rosemary, which I ended up using all the rosemary I had for this. So the rosemary is for memory and spirituality. And then the sage is to banish negativity. So that's what the herbs are for. Now, on an extremely personal note, I decided while I was creating this, that I was going to put an extremely personal aspect of myself into this. Now, that's where these medications come from. Woohoo! So anyway, those medications are some of the medications that I was put on to attempt to control my depression, my anger, my general craziness. In a simple term, my psychological defectiveness. Okay, so I have one for my manic and bipolar issues. I have, let's see. Let me look this one up because I'm really not sure what that one is for. Huh. Oh, more manic and bipolar. Okay. Let's see here. Let's look this one up. Make sure I know what this one is specifically for. My goodness, there we go. Ah, depression. All right, my depression. Okay. And then lastly, this one here is, and it actually says it on the bottle, for psychosis. There we go. So I added some of those, and you should be able to see, you can see the white flakes into the mixture. And again, yes, it is very personal to me, and I know for me this is how I want it to work. So there we go. Now I have over here, this I made many years ago. This was one of the first things that I attempted to do. Well, attempted. This is one of the first things that I did to help me release all of the anger, the pain, anguish, heartache, I don't know, whatever words you want to use. This is one of the things that I attempted to do to help release that. I can't say that it worked, but I can't say that it didn't work. You know, you can't say something. I'm not going to say that my magic absolutely, without doubt, worked with this. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm also not 100% positive that it didn't help. You know what I'm saying? I can't prove that it worked, but I also can't prove that it didn't work. Now you can say, well, you know, you've been this way for 15 years. Obviously, it didn't work. Well, that's not true. What would have happened if let's say that what I did with this worked? Let's say that it did work. Okay, so the result of it was what I have now. But what would have happened to me, or because of me, if this hadn't worked? How much worse would have it been? So I try to look at it that way. I don't know how you look at it, but that's how I look at it. So anyway, I am going to clear all of this off of the table, and then we're going to get started making that poppet. Alrighty, so here we are down to the basics. So what I have here are the mixture of herbs and things. The dirt from my sister's grave. My template, I guess you would say, that I'm going to make the mud poppet from. My smoky quartz. Here's a bit of the onyx from that big piece. The holite, or halite, and my salt and water mixture to make the actual mud. So let's get started here. Alrighty. Just in case I need more water, which I don't believe I will. Alright, move this out of the way. Get this out of the way. Here we go. Here we go. How much of this I'm going to need, I really don't know. But let's see here. There we go. I believe that will be enough to make my poppet. I'm going to crumble up some of the larger pieces here real quick. Small little pebble. I might keep that in there, or I might put it in my jar, I'm not sure. But being reminded of all the good times, some of the bad, but they were good too, by the way. It's amazing how loss makes you appreciate even the negative times. So anyway, here we go. Make a nice little indentation here. Maybe just kind of like kneading bread. Making a nice little, there we go, making a nice little mud. Margot the cat. She's been sitting by watching the whole time. So I'm assuming she was making sure that everything was going well. Maybe have a little too much water. I probably need to add some more dirt, so hold on one second. Okay. Well, looks like I'm going to use that whole jar. There we go. One jar full. Well, that seems to be just about the, there we go. That's starting to firm up. There we go. A nice little. There we go. There was, add my herbs and stuff. And let's mix those in. Very nicely. and very, well, somewhat consistently. I want to make sure that I get those in there. So here we go. Mix that up nice and good. Might have to add a tad bit of water there to make the can smell it. Alrighty, there we go. So now that I have my herbs and other materials mixed in, flatten that out just a tad bit. And what I'm going to do is now I will place it in my mold, and I will put a bit of it in there for now. Now what I want to do is I want to add my stones. So I will put my onyx in there. So my onyx is there. My holite and my smoky quartz. My holite, I think, will go in the heart, and the smoky quartz will go up in the head area. There we go. And now I will finish by adding the rest of it and forming it in around. There we go. I don't really want to pack it too hard because I want to make sure that I can pull this mold away from it without messing it up. Smooth it off at the top here. I want it to be pretty even up here. There we go. There, this is, oh, yes. There we go. There we go. There. I will have a small ball left right there. We'll let that go ahead and dry up, and I will take that back when I go do my ritual. There we are. Smooth this in back here. Maybe add a little piece here. Try to smooth that out nicely. Add a little piece right here on their arm. There we go. Alright, there. Now I have my poppet. Going to work it out of my mold. Just push it a bit here and a bit there. Just enough to move it out of the mold. There we go. There it goes. And there we are. Here's the beginnings of my poppet to help me release all of the pain and anguish and negativity, all the heartache, the distress, the emotional and physical. I went through a lot of physical pain as well with this whole process. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let this dry. And like I said, today is the 19th of January. I will be holding my ritual on the 11th of February, and the reasoning behind that is, well, I'll get the book out, the booklet that I made, and I'll go through a little bit of how and why I chose the dates. So I'll get right back with you. Okay, so I also created a sigil that I will be using in part of my my ritual. And if you don't know how to create sigils, I love to use sigils. Sigils are really important to me in my works. So if you haven't used them before, there's plenty of stuff on the internet to teach you how to do them, and I suggest you give them a try. So as I said before, the candles were red because of that's the color of healing for leukemia. And even though, anyway, so I used red candles. The halite, the smoky quartz, and the onyx, I already discussed that. The hour cycle. Now, the planetary hour of Saturn is the treating of chronic illness, giving up bad habits, both of which I think are part of what I need to do. So I decided that the hour of Saturn was going to be what I needed to look for. And the hour of Saturn during the day is 1 a.m. and 8 a.m. and at night is 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. So as well, dawn is for banishing energy and for improvement, which would work for my situation, which would be the 1 or 8. And dusk is endings, completions, and transitions, which also will work, and that was the 3 p.m. or the 10 p.m. And I did decide, at this point, I plan on doing it at 10 p.m. And the biggest reason behind that is scheduling. 1 a.m. I guess is a possibility. 8 a.m. is completely out for me because I'll be asleep. 3 p.m. Is probably not going to work for me simply because of everybody else's schedule. So I chose 10 p.m. as that. So as well, the day cycle. Sunday is the day of protection, healing, spirituality, exorcism, healing of physical health, and joy back into your life. Which is exactly what I'm asking. Well, exactly what I'm telling myself that I'm going to do. Because I'm not asking for it. I'm not asking for it. I'm telling myself that's what it is. So Sunday is the perfect day. So now I have 10 p.m., which is the perfect hour, and Sunday, which is the perfect day. So what I need to do is find a day, a Sunday at 10 p.m. that will abide by the rest of what I'm looking for. So the month that is going to be appropriate. So I went through all of the months. And I have to say, first of all, I don't really believe in luck. I don't think just a random draw of things really abides by my personal belief. I think that things are directed or occur because. I don't think it's just some randomness. But anyway, February came up. I looked at all the months, and February was for well-being and for forgiveness, which in a lot of ways, and I'm not going to delve into that much because I'm not. But that works well And it's also the month my sister was born, which is uniquely interesting, I think. Plus, I started working on this a month or two ago. So February was, at the time I started this, only a couple months away, which was the closest month as well that would work. So now I've decided that it will happen on February. I would like it to happen on a Sunday and at 10 p.m. So we have that established. Now, lunar phases. The waning moon, which is from full to noon, is for banishing harmful energies. And if that doesn't sum up what I believe is my issue, what is? Banishing harmful energies. So now we add it to be in a waning moon. So the moon phase, what it is in. So I went through all of that, and I found that Capricorn fit best. It is for exile and banishment. And I'm talking about my emotions here. I'm talking about that aspect of it, which is what I want to do. I want to exile and banish all of these negative emotions. So now we've got that. So it needs to be February on a Sunday during a waning moon that's in Capricorn. Is that even possible? Now we look at the seasons. Winter. Banishment of disease, mental and physical. What more do you have to say? So, winter abides by the February, so we're good to go. So what it comes down to is the best time. Now this is like the perfect time. If everything aligns, this would be the perfect time. Alright, so when it's all said and done, the best time, and I love doing this research. This is part of what makes it really helpful for me. So the best time to hold this ritual is February during a waning moon in Capricorn on a Sunday at 1 or 8 a.m. or 3 and 10 p.m. Now, I go to my calendar and I find out, is there something that abides by that in February? February 4th and February 11th are on a Sunday. And the 11th has a moon in Capricorn. So, February 11th at 10 p.m. is, once I do all of this correspondence, the perfect day for me to do that ritual. So February 11th will be the day that I do that. My sister's birthday is February 10th. Pretty close. Pretty close. So thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.